What's going on YouTube? I did it. I did something I wasn't gonna do. I had no interest in picking up the S7 Plus. My main tablet is the S6 and I've been perfectly happy with the S6, no problems at all. But when Samsung gave me an awesome trade-in value for my S6, I couldn't really resist it because of the size, because of the OLED panel on this, because of the 8K tuned speakers that are just a little bit more refined. I actually went for it, and I'm gonna give you my 72 hours later type of review. And this might be helpful again if you have an S6, if you're thinking about upgrading, or maybe you're just looking for a new tablet on the market. You might be thinking of the S6, or you might be thinking of the S7 line. This is the S7 Plus. So let's get into this 72-hour later review, and I'm gonna let you know what my thoughts are using this beast of a tablet 3 days later. The S7 Plus comes with 8 GB of RAM, 128 gigs, 256 or 512 of storage. Different color options as well. This is the black, and we do have a micro SD card slot as well, so no matter which storage option you pick, you can always expand it on the cheap. Thank you very much, Samsung, for keeping that micro SD card slot alive. This does have a 10,090 milliamp hour battery, and with support up to 45 watts fast charging. I don't think charging this tablet is going to be an issue at all. I don't think that's going to be a concern for most people. 45 watt charging means you're going to be able to charge this up super fast, but I think it's all about this panel. 12.4 inches, 120 hertz, OLED panel, cannot be beat. Hands down, the best screen on any tablet right now. Let's go over some of the things that I like and some things that I don't like. Now keep in mind, I've only had this tablet for about 3 days, so I will have a full review coming up, but the number one thing that's really impressed me with the S7 Plus is this panel at 120 hertz. The OLED 12.4 inch panel is something that, whether you're just surfing the web or whether you're doing a little multitasking with your favorite JabberTech YouTube videos right on the corner, or even if you watch your YouTube videos in full screen or just play a game, the S7 Plus is one immersive experience, and it's something that once you experience the OLED panel at 120 hertz, you don't go back to anything else. It's one of those features that really make me want to keep this tablet. Another thing that I really like is the quad speakers, the 8K tuned Dolby Atmos ready speakers. It gives you an awesome experience in multimedia viewing. It gives you an awesome experience for playing games. Now I'm not going to talk about lag. I'm not going to talk about any of that because the 865 Plus does an awesome job. This tablet does not lag. Samsung does a good job with their software these days, so lag is not an issue. The aspect ratio is 16:10, so it's really made to be used in landscape. Now the bezels are small, but you do have enough real estate that you can place your thumbs and still be able to do what you want to do without any false positives from the screen, from the OS. So I think they did a nice job of not giving us super thin bezels where we would not be able to hold this in landscape, because this is how they intended you to hold it. And that comes up to one of the gripes that I don't like about this tablet. If you are using this as a couch surfer, which is generally what I use my tablets for, it's just a little bit too large to sit there on the couch and do this and do that. It's just not as manageable in one hand as the S6 was. With the S6 on the couch, I could do some hand maneuvers and reach the top of the panel and kind of do some more hand gestures and do everything with one hand if I wanted to, but that's not the case with the S7 Plus. Again, just look at the size. This is one beast of a tablet. So if you do use this just as your couch surfer or looking up recipes in the kitchen, I think the S7 Plus would be just a little bit too big. And again, I don't really think most people are going to use it in portrait. I think most people are going to use this tablet in landscape, but I think the overall multimedia experience on the S7 Plus puts to shame the S6 any day of the week. And again, once you get used to it, it's not something that you're going to be able to put down. It's not something that you're going to be able to go back to some old technology. And to give you an example of the tuned 4 8K Dolby Atmos ready speakers, just take a little listen. I think you're going to be quite impressed, because I find personally that they just overall tune these speakers a little bit better than the S6. It sounds a little bit more natural, a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more well-tuned than the S6 did. But let me know what you think about them down in the comments below.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
I've been playing a lot more games on this tablet while I've been out and about, Again, I think it's an awesome experience all around. So if you want to be productive, you want to be a gamer, you just want to use it as a couch surfer, you're going to be able to do so with the S7 Plus. In terms of Samsung DeX and in terms of productivity, I think I'm going to be a little bit more productive with the S7 Plus, or at least that was my rationing when I decided to go and upgrade and spend that extra money. But I like the ability to do the screen mirror option. Samsung really give you a lot of features with all of their products in general. Not just tablets, but also phones. They give you HDMI out, they give you video with USB-C out. Some manufacturers block these settings, but Samsung doesn't. So as you can see on the left side here, I do have Samsung DeX, so if I wanted to use this and be a little bit more productive, maybe you want to play a game on one side and maybe you want to actually do some work on the other, or maybe you want to play on both screens, the 865 Plus, that 8GB of RAM, really does an awesome job at multitasking. Now this is something I could have done with the S6, so if you were thinking about the S6, this is still possible, but I like it just because it gives you a little bit more functionality. It just lets you do a little bit more things in terms of multitasking and in terms of doing what you want to do, because these are expensive tablets. Now if you don't do a trade-in value, this is definitely up there in price. This is something that is a pricey tablet. You want to try and be as productive as possible, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to play all day long, but with the Tab S7 Plus, you can definitely do that. One of the features that a lot of people like is the SPen. You can take some screenshots, you can dabble on things, you can do this and you can do that. I personally don't really use an SPen. I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to change now that I have a larger landscape to work with. But the SPen feels a lot better, again, a lot more refined than the S6 did. All you have to do is put the SPen on the back, it's going to charge up and it's going to be there when you want it to be. Doing a shake test, it doesn't seem to be falling off, so I think they did a nice job with the magnet. That was one thing that annoyed me a little bit with the S6, was that it was a little bit too flimsy and it came off rather quickly, but this one seems to be staying a little bit better than the S6. Again, I'm kind of curious to see if I'm going to use this more now that I have a larger real estate, and I definitely like the way that they place the camera in landscape mode right in the center. So for those Zoom calls, for those Google Meet calls, whatever type of conferencing that you're doing, it's always going to be there looking at you with the right angle. And I don't condone taking photos on the back, guys. If you're one of those people that takes your tablet out in public and snaps some shots, don't do it with this. This is just massive. You're really not going to look cool unless you got an iPad mini that looks like a phone these days. This tablet is not something you want to take out and take photos with. If you're not that couch surfer and you're trying to look for an excuse to buy a tablet, you can say this is going to make you more productive, or maybe it actually is going to make you more productive. Again, I'm going to use this as my laptop replacement for the next couple of weeks. I am not even going to open up my laptop, not going to touch my desktop, other than for editing these videos. I'm going to use this 100% as a productivity device, so I'll let you know how that goes. But the S7 Plus comes down to this gorgeous panel, and again, Samsung make the best panels on the market. No one can really touch these screens, and this is just their flagship of tablet screens. The OLED 120Hz panel gives you a completely immersive experience. So for the person that might not be as productive as they are more of a movie watcher, you're going to have an awesome experience on this tab. And if you flip the switch and you're more of a productive person and you don't really watch movies too much, you're going to be able to do a lot on this screen. But again, guys, I will have a full review coming up shortly, so make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. And if you have any questions about this tablet, let me know down in the comments below. But as of right now, it's all about this screen, it's all about this real estate, it's all about this gorgeous panel. I'm definitely blown away by this tablet. This is something that's been an awesome experience, and it's something I'm actually happy I upgraded to. I appreciate you guys watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.